lives begin to end the moment we are silent about the things that matter. That is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I think that in a time now when we have so much divisiveness throughout our country, it is very important, and to honor months like Black History Month that we have in February, today we have a very special edition of PW Personalities with two very important members of the Black Cultural Awareness Club here at Plymouth Whitemarsh. Girls, it is such an honor to have you on today.
Thank you for having us.
So I guess if you could you introduce the audience to yourselves?
I'm Greene. I'm on the leadership committee at the Black Culture Awareness Club.
And I'm Marcaela. I'm also on the leadership committee in BCA.
Yep.
So with BCA, what would you describe a typical meeting to be like?
So our meetings are during bonus block, and those usually start at 11, but our meeting starts at 11:05. And that 5 minutes just gives our members time to come in, settle, mingle, and if there's things on the board for them to prepare for the meeting, that time is for them to do. And then we usually have a snack for them to eat most of the time. But our meetings is just planning events, talking about current things that relate to us, how to handle things in life as a Black person, and things like that.
Yeah, recently we've been going like hard planning for our fashion show that we have every year. It's called 8 Shades of Brown. We're just like assigning people to committees, giving them different tasks, like go out and like prepare for our fashion show this year. So.
Yeah. And 8 Shades of Brown. Aid is a Nigerian word meaning royalty. There you go. Yeah.
There we go. With the fashion show, what does that consist of, and what can people expect if they were to attend that event?
So for me, the fashion show is one of my favorite events of the year. So that's one of the events I definitely take a little bit more charge in than everyone else. So the event is mainly just to show Black culture in its form of its beauty, the intelligence of it, to everyone. So we do a Black cast, all Black models, all Black hosts. And at the event, you will see about 20 or over this year Black-owned vendors. The models will model Black-owned clothing lines. So it's just to express our accomplishments, our intelligence, our beauty, things like that. It's really exciting because last year we oversold tickets, so this year we're expecting about 500 guests.
Wow.
So yeah, it's exciting. It's a hectic thing to plan, but once it's in the works, it's really fun. It's really beautiful to be a part of.
And with ticket cost, would the admission go towards your club, or is there a specific charity that goes to?
So some of the money goes to the Black Culture Awareness Club College Fund. So at the end of the year, we pick 2 of our members that we donate money towards college, whether it's books, whatever they use it for towards college. And then the rest of the money will go to the American Lupus Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think last year we raised over $1,500 in tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
That went to the Lupus Foundation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really impressive to see such active participation with student-run clubs like this, and
Yeah.
I think that what you're doing is really important. Now, I'm not too privy, but would you be able to describe for the audience a little bit of what lupus is? I'm not too aware, but maybe you could shed some light on that, Marcaela.
Yeah, well, it's basically a disease that affects mainly people of color, especially women. It can lead to different symptoms like you can be very fatigued and you can't even get out of bed. You're very your immune system is weakened, so you're very susceptible to different sicknesses. And it can be someone who you may know have had it, Selena Gomez. She had lupus and she had to get was it a kidney transplant for it? Yeah, she had to get a kidney transplant for it. So it can affect every part of your body, and it's not a very latent disease. It affects every aspect of your life. So we wanted to shed light on that, since it does affect people that are like us, people of color. So we wanted to bring that to people's view.
Yeah, instead of killing diseases coming into you, it eats those diseases in you, so it's overpowering everything. Yeah.
Sounds rather unfortunate, but it's good that there's foundations like what you guys are donating to be able to help with that. And with BCA, I know that this is hard for both of you, being important members of the club, but what would you say is your proudest achievement in your time so far working with this club?
I'll take that one. Definitely the fashion show because we got way more people than we thought we did. We had about 300 people come out, and we raised a lot of money, and we got so much good feedback. Like bunch of people said they were coming this year, not just from like parents in the community, but also like students. I know a bunch of my friends said they wanted to come. And I think it was just great for BCA to see that we can create something that's successful and that's big and that everyone would want to come to. And also our recent Unity Walk, but I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah, I was going to say the fashion show is definitely mine, but now that I look back, considering that our Unity Walk this year was made non-mandatory by the district, it was definitely a disappointment to us. But to see all the students that came out when it wasn't mandatory was definitely like a big smile upon all of our faces. So that I would say was right now my greatest accomplishment for sure, yeah.
Some really phenomenal work that these two ladies are doing for BCA. We'll now cut to a quick commercial break, but we'll be back shortly for another beautiful segment of this great episode of PW Personalities. Welcome back, folks. So obviously we are in February, Black History Month. It's really an important month to reflect, I feel like, for not only African Americans, but also everyone in this country, because we need to appreciate a group that was really, it's unfortunate the Black history that we've had in the early time in the United States, but it's really great to see the inspiration that a lot of these individuals have for people of all races. And I guess I'll open off first with, what does the month mean to you, being African American?
How do you start?
Okay, I'll take this. Yeah. Well, I think ever since I was little, I remember at my old elementary school, we'd like celebrate Black History Month, like we go deep into like lessons about it, and it just made me, like even being like 6 years old made me feel so proud, because before we learned about it, like I grew up, always grew up around white people, so I was like, my Blackness made me different, but like learning about it and like realizing all these people did all this amazing stuff during a time where they were so oppressed and marginalized and were told they couldn't do it, and there were things put in place where they couldn't, like they still achieved these amazing feats. Like that just empowered me so much, because it made me think I can do anything, since they did something in the system that oppressed them so heavily.
Yeah. So I feel like we use that month for us to give back to our history, our roots. Black History Month is such a busy month for us. We do so much to give back, and not really just for our pride, but just to reconnect with our roots, considering our current environment and our current world, just to reconnect to the good part of it. So I think that's what it means to me.
And with that being said, I mean, there's so many figures, but is there anyone in particular that you would say is one of your prime inspirations in a month like this month?
I would say, going back, Sojourner Truth, and not just of what she did, but just her rawness, her raw personality that she exposed during her time of fighting for what she wanted to fight for. Ain't I a Woman was her slang, and I loved that rawness again, just the slang that she spoke. It was not that black and white, that yes or that no, or just that grammar. I loved that. I loved her for that, for sure.
I have a long list. I got Madam C.J. Walker, Phyllis Wheatley, Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of them, but I have to say that like definitely, I guess Michelle Obama, because I've always, ever since she got elected, like when Obama was elected, like that was so huge for me. Like I remember being like, 6 years old and watching the whole election, like seeing a woman who looked like me and who was so powerful and so inspirational be in the office and do all that she's done for this country. Like she's not just the first lady, she's someone who enacted change and who started programs and who did all this stuff for America. It was just amazing to me. So, yeah.
Two excellent figures that have left huge impacts on history that I'm sure will inspire many other like-minded individuals. And I noticed that in Plymouth Whitemarsh, folks, you may or may not know this, but we have what we call the Bridge. And in the Bridge, it's glass panes, and it's to connect from the D wing over to the cafeteria and auditorium area. And for the different months of the year, it'll be decorated in different ways. And I know that BCA decorated this month for Black History Month. What were some of the aspects that you made sure that you put on to the bridge and its decoration?
Well, every year we make sure that we use the bridge to express and show unity. And the beauty of Blackness and just Black History Month. So every year we do something different, but the main root of that would be unity. You can explain like what we. Yeah.
I remember when this was like way back before February started, when we started decorating for it. I'd always seen these things on Instagram where teachers would decorate walls with like curls of paper as the curls of like an afro. So I definitely wanted to include that aspect. We had like a woman with an afro because we wanted to show like this is like the essence of like Black culture is like our hair too. And then we have like a heart with all famous Black people in it and around like different color hands, definitely to show unity, which is like Treasure's aspect. And it's like all different color hands all along it to show that Black history isn't just a month about Black people, it's a month about bringing us all together and recognizing the beauty of Black history.
Yeah, because for BCA, our mission is like before creating unity between us and them, we have to create it amongst ourselves first. So that's what we like to show on the bridge, people who have accomplished big things as themselves.
And folks, obviously you're not at Plymouth Whitemarsh High, but I'm a part of the announcement crew we have in the morning, and I believe it was every day, right, that we had a different important figure or moment in African American history. Is there any way that you guys specifically found those, or?
Looking them up and learning about them, because we don't, in our history classes, we don't necessarily learn about Black history, so definitely Google was a good source. And then things we knew. I know we tried to give a shout out to the birthdays that were on those specific days as well. So,
Yeah, like Carver G. Woodson, who started Black History Month, we knew that one already, but like Miss Edwards was definitely a big help in like organizing, and Miss Kim, and like getting the names on there and like getting it out to the announcements.
Yeah, Miss Kim is our
sponsor,
our BCA like president. Who's the head of BCA. Yeah.
And so, with Black History Month, it's very important. And I guess, is there any other areas that you would like to add even more in years moving forward to make it an even more interactive month with the student body?
I know for our Unity Walk, we would like to make it not just a school thing, but more of a community thing. Actually, this year was our first year having the middle school do one of their own and the elementary school, Conshohocken Elementary, doing one of their own. So that was like the start of us having everyone being included, not just the high school. But I know for the future we want family to be able to come, maybe have it more of a big thing than just a walk, an assembly, and guest speaker. Maybe some, things that bring us together more than just the walk. That would definitely be something we've talked about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm leaving this year, but like something that I think they should start doing like after is like, I guess just keep going with the way they're going. Like BCA right now, we're growing, we're going up, and that's the only direction we can go because we're just getting bigger and better. And I hope that we continue to do that, like, and that the student body realizes that and becomes more incorporated into that. So.
So Treasurer made a point. We don't have a direct African American history studies course. There's been a little bit of talk that might possibly be a class moving forward. What would that mean to you, both personally, if something like that were to be able to be a new course for students here at Plymouth Whitemarsh?
I think that would definitely make education and history class more relatable for all the students in PW. I think that would be a good opportunity for us to expand our knowledge because I feel like every year of high school there's a little bit of repetition in history classes. So I think having Black history will bring something new to the table and not just something for a reflection for the Black students and minorities, but also for the majority to see something different than what they see every day. So something it wouldn't be necessarily a mirror for them, but more of a window saying, oh, look, there's something different than me that can do things that I do too.
Yeah, just makes everyone like more aware and more like learned on the topic, so that we like create a, like, I guess, a generation of people who just go into the world knowing different stuff and like understanding a different race of people, so that they become like more worldly people.
Yeah. That's what'll start the true meaning of unity and uniting together.
Exactly.
I really hope it becomes a class, because I know that I would definitely be signing up as well.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really important for all of us here at the student body. Folks, we're going to cut to our final commercial break, and we'll be back with our last segment of this episode of PW Personalities.
More than 37% of teens reported vaping nicotine, as well as heavy metals such as nickel, tin, and lead. Teens also reported vaping chemicals, which are linked to a serious lung disease and cancer. Don't vape.
Alrighty, folks. I say this on almost every episode, but I really do get a little bit upset when we get towards a conclusion. I mean, I wish PW Personalities could run for hours if we could. These conversations that we spark are really important and are very valuable in our Colonial community. And I feel like if everybody could be able to sit down with the guests that I could speak with, I feel like people definitely would have a better understanding of many different topics. And again, it just shows here at Colonial the vast majority of differentiating people that we have. We're talking in between the break about the different people that contribute. So you said Miss Kim Williams is the person that runs the BCA club, correct?
Yes, yes. She's such a great woman. She picked up Black Culture Awareness Club about 3 years ago. And she has just definitely changed the lives of the Black students here and in the community so much. Her work in the community definitely goes unrecognized a lot of times. She's definitely like the underdog a lot.
She is.
But she is heavily loved, and she is the mind, the body, and the soul behind Black Culture Awareness Club. She definitely runs around for us. She does it all. She's definitely another mom to all the students in Black Culture Awareness Club and in the community. Yeah, we love her. Yeah.
Yes, like heavily. Like last year during the fashion show, she brought at least 200 people to the fashion show. Like she has so many connections, not just in the school, but in the community. Like people respect her, they know her work and how amazing she is and how dedicated she is to like just uplifting PW's, like, and not just PW, CMS's Black population. So like she's all around amazing.
Now, was she a student here at Plymouth White Marsh?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Yes, and her students are prior. Her children are prior students of the district as well.
So, keeping it close to home.
Yeah.
So yesterday was Unity Day, a really
Yes.
beautiful day that brings us together here at Colonial. So it consisted of Unity Walk, and then we also had a special guest speaker. So for you guys, what was it like in that moment, seeing this day that you guys planned so heavily for come together?
Yeah.
It was, I can't even describe it. Like going outside and seeing like a large majority of the school like outside walking was just so, it was really touching, because I know this year, as Treasurer said, it wasn't mandatory, and we were like really getting out, like recruiting people to come, and I figured there would be people there, but like the amount of people that were there just like walking outside was just so amazing to see, because it made me realize that people actually do care about unity, and that it's just not just like a message they don't want to hear about. It's something they actually care about too.
Yeah. And we got about a little bit over half of the track, and there was still a big line of people wrapping around. And that was the most like heartwarming thing ever, just seeing like, dang, people actually care, and like got our message that it's not just for the Black kids, but it's for everyone who's ever been, singled out by any bias against them based on their differences. So we love that. We love that about the Unity Walk, for sure.
That's more important now than ever in 2020. And it also had a special guest speaker, Marcaela, your father, and I spoke to him briefly afterwards, and his words were truly amazing. I was wondering if you could kind of briefly summarize what he does and also what he said during that amazing presentation.
Yes. So my father is Marcus Allen. He is the first Black CEO at Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a mentorship program that it's a national company, but he presides over the office in Philadelphia and South Jersey, and basically it's a program that gives kids who are at risk or who don't have role models, mentors, like usually between younger mentors, like between the ages of like 20 to 40, or they can be older too. And his whole message has been about like helping kids, because when he grew up, he was very at risk. He lived in an impoverished town with no money. His family was actually homeless at one point, and he brought himself out of poverty by playing basketball and going to college, which was a really big thing for him. So he just talked about like his story and how unity and diversity like stuck with him through all that, because he was brought up in an environment that was one way, and then he realized that the world was something different. So he had to like acclimate himself to being open to other things, not just like other races, but like other sexual orientations or like different preferences too. So he really talked about that, and he also like incorporated a message of how we need to keep going, that if someone tells you no, you keep going, because everyone told him no when he was little, but he still became the successful man that he is today. So.
And I also learned from him that no matter any of the odds coming towards you, all you need is yourself encouraged, and you'll definitely get to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I love that from him. Yeah.
Very important words. Here at Colonial, we have many things that are going very well and many things we pride ourselves on. But obviously, we're always open to any changes that we can make that we think could really make the student body better. Now, obviously, without getting too specific, what do you think is an area that we could improve for diversity here at Colonial?
Okay.
Well, going back to I learned this little quote from Jamina Dingle. She was running for school board of our district. And she said that us as students in the community not only need mirrors, but we also need windows. And I think having people to relate to in our administration will be a good improvement for a student of minority and majority, to have people in administration who look and don't look like you. I think will be a good improvement for our district.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's not much more I can say than that. Like, just like, yeah, seeing the representation of like other students too would be great. Yeah.
And now, on the flip side of things, what is something you think that Colonial does very well with diversity?
Well, like tomorrow they have their, is it monthly? I think monthly
Yeah, it's
diversity
once a
meeting, where they like bring in different clubs and groups to talk about like what the district is doing well, what they could be doing better, what programs they should implement, or like what things they should bring in. And I think that's really beneficial and really progressive of them to do, because they want to hear other people's like takes on stuff, and they want to know what they can do better so that everyone feels accepted, which is a really good thing.
And in those meetings, there's committees of parents and students, Black and white, Asian, Latino. So I think having that diversity come together and work on a game plan to help outside of that meeting is also a good thing that the district has put together based on us voicing our opinions on things that need to be changed.
Right, because it's not just Black and white kids, it's also like Hispanic and all different other races, like Middle Eastern and stuff like that.
Yes.
Bringing everybody together. nothing more important. And so, a final note here. What is something that you wish us as a society could improve on? Many different routes. Many different.
Acceptance, unity. I mean, just accepting people for who they are. And we have those people who do accept each other for who they are, and then we have that majority who doesn't. So I feel like if we get some good representation to influence that unity between everyone, I think that would be a good thing for society as a whole, no matter what you look like, where you come from. If we get that representation that encourages people to look at the other side of life and how much unity and acceptance is to accomplishing things in life, I think that would be good for society.
I completely agree. I feel like it's not, well, society, like, unity is based in accepting everyone. So before we can say that we're all equal, we need to first, like, acknowledge the fact that some people don't think we are, and that we need to get them to the level where they know that it's fair and it's right and it's just for everyone to be accepted and for everyone to have the same recognition that they deserve. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and race is not something that should keep us apart because it's not really a huge barrier. That it's something that we sort of like just made up. So we need to recognize the fact that we are all the same people, and that to keep going and to like prosper as a race of one, like the human race, we need to like come together and accept each other. So
I know, I feel like it's necessary because we talked so much about coming together. I'm not going to shake your hands. I want to give both of you guys thank you so much for coming on
that's
today.
so sweet.
It is really,
Thank
I mean,
you.
as I trip over the chair here. Folks, really important words we have coming from the youth here of Plymouth White Marsh. And if this is any indication of what the future holds with the student body we have coming out of this building in both 2021 and 2020, I think that our world's going to get a little bit better one person at a time. I'm Jason Wyke, and until next time, folks, take care.